Just imagine two candidates walking into the same interview. Both are having the same degrees, the same experience, and even the same set of questions which they both have practiced. Yet, one receives the offer on the same day, and the other one is being told that we are going to contact you later. Why? Was the first one more intelligent? Maybe not. Was the first one luckier? Probably not. The difference is that one became the obvious choice. And that is exactly what we are going to discuss today in this video. Because interviews are not won by the person who is most qualified, but they are won by the person who makes the interviewer trust him so much that he's the right one to hire. If you are meeting me for the first time, I'm Dr. Christina Charan, the founder of A Winning Life, where we help people to transform their life through mindset, communication, and their presence. So let's begin. The very first thing you need to know is that interviews we think are competition of knowledge, which they are not. Think about it. If in interviews people only judge your knowledge, then why don't your university send your mark sheets to the interviewers directly? And there would have been no need of the interview. Yet, companies and people, the employers, they call you in person to different interviews because your resume can't have everything which they would like to hear and know about you. That can only be done in person. And these are the questions which the company or your employer wants to know before hiring you. That can we trust this person? Or this person is dependable, reliable enough to represent our company? Can this person work well in the team? Can this person handle the pressure which is going to come when there is work? Because interview is not just about how you as a person are. It is mostly about that how you create an impression on the interviewer that you are the right choice, you are the obvious choice, you are the person they can trust on with their work, with their policies, with their principle and ethics. Because people don't hire certainty of skill. Most of the people who are coming for the interviews have those skills. The interviewers hire you for the certainty of trust. And here is something very fascinating. A study at Princeton tells us that you are being marked or you are being judged before you speak anything. It means in the very first few seconds, when a person notices you, they try to decode your personality or the impression they are having, they have a picture about it just in a fraction of seconds when they notice you. It means that your interview starts before your first question or before your first answer. As soon as you enter the room, people start noticing your expression, your body language, your posture, your composure. Everything is being noticed, everything is being judged, and everything is being interpreted in the minds of the employer. And yes, I agree that the first impressions are not always correct, but we cannot deny that they are the most influential. So just don't prepare your answers, prepare your arrival, because people see your presence before they judge your potential. And now let's understand why presence changes everything. Just imagine walking into two different restaurants. Both the restaurants serve equally delicious food. But the first one is very well organized, neat to look at, and the environment there is calm and composed. On the other hand, the second restaurant serving the same delicious food. Yet, on the other hand, the second one is untidy, poorly lit, and chaotic. Which one would you choose? Most of us are naturally going to choose the first restaurant. And this is what happens with presence also, because presentation creates confidence, and you are no different. Your knowledge is the food, and your presence is the restaurant. And by presence, I don't want to say that you need to be glamorous or wearing branded clothes or being very expensive. No. Presence simply means the way you carry yourself with calm shoulders, a genuine smile, composed voice, and a steady eye contact. These small things tell the employer that yes, you can trust me. While I'm telling you about presence, I would also like to tell you about the halo effect. Psychologists have called this effect as an halo effect. It means that when the person sees you for the first time, okay, if they get a good impression of yours, if they think that you are a nice, competent, composed, well looking person, then they tend to think you are capable too. Yes, it might be misleading, but that's how psychology works. It is how our brain works. Within the first few seconds, we try to decode the personality of the other person. If we like them, the vibe we get from them is what decides how we are going to take this person. Either they can be perceived by the employer as competent, as person who's capable to do their work, and if your presence is clumsy, chaotic, and not very well, then they might decode that it as incapability or as incompetence in you. Whether you can be very knowledgeable, highly skilled, and trained for the particular job, but yes, the halo effects works in this way. So start working on your presence, not only for the day of the interview where you have to make an impression, but overall you need to work on your presence so that wherever you go, you are the obvious choice of everyone else. Now coming to the next pillar, that is communication. Communication is much more than just speaking. Many a times people come to me and they tell me that, ma'am, I'm not very good at English. And what I tell them is that you need not be good at English, but you should be good at expressing yourself. You should express yourself or communicate with clarity and precision. It is not about speaking big, difficult jargon, right? It is about clearly expressing what you want to say. Because a simple sentence spoken with confidence is much more powerful than a complicated one spoken with hesitation. So instead of saying maybe, I don't know, I think so, probably, you start saying according to my knowledge, as what I have learned, based on my experience. Here's how I approach the situation. Because your interviewer is not counting your difficult words, they are listening for clarity, structure, and confidence. Now, let's talk about something no one sees, and that is your mindset. Many of us, when we enter into the room of the interview, we have only one question in our mind. Are they going to reject me? What if they reject me? And this very question changes the whole scene. Your posture changes, your voice changes, your confidence changes, your body language changes, and your voice becomes hesitant. Your body language is of a person who's trying to hide himself. Instead, start asking yourself this one thing, that what is the problem which I can solve for these employers. And this minor change is again going to change the whole scene, because here, asking this question, that what is the problem which I can solve for them, you do not stand in the position where you're begging for the job. Instead, you are there in your all competence trying to help them out, because here you will be offering value. Confidence is not looking down upon others or thinking that you are better than others. Confidence is believing that you can adapt, you can learn, and you can also contribute. And that is the mindset which employers remember. So now let's again think of a situation where two people have entered into the interview room. The first one keeps on apologizing that I do not know this, I'm really sorry, hesitates in speaking. The other one, if they don't know anything or if there is a question which they do not know the answer of, they simply tell that yes, I'm not very familiar with this concept, but I'm going to learn as I am too quick to learn and adapt. So here you are not only emphasizing about that you are sorry that you don't know the answer, but you're also stating your positive point that you are very adaptive or you have this capability to learn easily. So now let's sum this up, how you are going to become the obvious choice. Not by trying to impress everybody, but by making interviewers' decision easier. Bring a calm mindset. Carry yourself with confidence. Communicate with clarity. When these three come together, people just do not listen to your answers. They start trusting you. And trust is what gets you hired. The next time when you walk in for an interview, don't try to be the smartest person in the room. Focus on becoming the easiest person to trust on. Because employers rarely choose perfection, they choose credibility, character, and confidence. And when your mindset is strong, your presence is authentic, and your communication is clear, you don't have to convince people that you are the right choice. In fact, you become the obvious choice. If today's video has made you think differently about the interviews, then do share it with somebody who's preparing for an interview. And if you want to grow your mindset, your communication, and your presence, then subscribe to A Winning Life. So until the next time, remember this, that your resume may open the door, but your mindset, your presence, and your communication decides how long you are going to stay there.